Hello, welcome to Gurukul's Catch 100 series, a series that's designed specifically to take you from your study room to the corporate boardroom. I am Prady Sharma, and this is Verbal Mastery with Prady.
Hello everyone, welcome back to day 75 of our 100 days to CAT test series. Now, we've got 5 good VA questions for you today. In case you want to take this up as a test, all you've got to do is go on to www.thegurukul.org.in and sign up for the 100 days to CAT test series. If you want to follow along with this video, this is your first question for the day. Pause the video here, answer this question, and then we're going to move into the second question. This is your second question for the day. Pause the video here, answer this question, and then we're going to move into the third question. This is your third question of the day. Pause the video here, answer this question, and then we're going to move into the fourth question. This is your fourth question of the day. Pause the video here, answer this question, and then we're going to move into the fifth question. Now, this is your fifth and last question of the day. Pause the video here, answer this question, and then we're going to go back to the questions and their analysis. Now, what does this first question talk to us about? This is a ParaJumble type of question. So in this ParaJumble type of question, we've got to read each of these sentences and try to connect them into a coherent paragraph. So at the same time, multiple transformations are ongoing, many of them driven by relentless impetus towards expansion of our material capabilities and by process of technological innovation framed for that purpose. Okay, so what do I understand from here? Okay, maybe something was happening, and at that same time, okay, when something else was happening, okay, a lot of different transformations are also ongoing, and they're driven by relentless impetus. That means extreme motivation towards expansion of our material capabilities. That means we want to expand our capabilities, our material capabilities. Okay, now second one could say that humanity sits at a crossroad between tragedy and transformation. Okay, now once I read this part, I understand that this whole thing is nothing but transformation, right? This tries to change our capabilities, right? So this is talking about transformation. So according to this, transformation should come second. First, I should talk about tragedy, but that is a simplistic metaphor. Now, what is a metaphor so far? Is there any metaphor in what we have read? Obviously, there is. Humanity sits at a crossroads is a metaphor. Okay, so this is a metaphor that I have identified. So probably 2 starts and then I get 3. But let's look where to place 4. Tragedies are already happening in so many places. So now I can say that 2 starts my paragraph, 3 continues that paragraph, 4 talks about tragedies, which is the first aspect, and 1 talks about transformation, which is the second aspect. So the perfect way to put these 4 sentences together would be 2, 3, 4, and 1. Now let's go to the second question. Second question is a para summary type of a question. So let's read the passage and then the options. There are ways to improve the talent acquisition process, especially for high-level positions that require a unique set of skills and abilities to be successful. Okay, so I understand from the very get-go that this whole paragraph is going to talk about talent acquisition process for high-level positions. Okay, and what's he telling about that? Outsourcing your requirement efforts to a firm that has knowledge of your fit and experience recruiting top candidates can be a great way to streamline your talent acquisition process. So, outsource your talent acquisition process for high-level employees or high-level positions is what he's telling me. Position such as CEO, CFO, controller, general manager and others often requires a depth and breadth of skills which the general applicant pool may not be able to fulfill. Okay. Additionally, in those high-level positions, cultural fit is just as important as individual's ability to perform. So another idea that I get is that not only the individual's ability to perform, but also the cultural fit is very, very important for us. So what are the 3 ideas that I get? I get that, okay, we need to outsource recruitment for high-level employees. Why? Because we need to understand the cultural fit and their ability to perform. And why outsource? Because these firms have high experience and knowledge. Right, so which of the summaries is actually bringing out all of these different points? That's what I have to start looking for. So outsourcing the requirement process for high-level positions which demand technically and culturally fit candidates helps to streamline the talent acquisition process. Fair enough, it brings out all of these points. So maybe this is a good answer for me. Now what about B? High-level positions in an organization demand individual with not only the right skills and talent but also the cultural compatibility. I agree, but here we have not spoken about outsourcing the recruitment process at all, right? So definitely B is not going to be my answer. C, the process of finding the candidate who is right fit for the organization both technically and culturally can be streamlined with the help of specialized recruitment agencies having the experience of recruiting candidates. Now over here, although it sounds very good, now he's not telling us which kind of candidates are we looking for. Okay, see, the process of finding the candidate who is right fit for organization both technically and culturally can be streamlined from specialized recruitment agencies. But where's the point about high level candidates coming? So this also does not come into my correct answers list. And outsourced recruitment engagement can significantly simplify and streamline the talent acquisition process. Great for nearly any employer in the industry. We're not talking about any employer in the industry. We're only talking about employers who are trying to take high-level employees. So again, this is an extreme option. So the best possible answer becomes A. So we're going to go with A, and then the third question. Now this question is a para completion type of question. In the sentence it says, it seemed only sensible to sign up for the 10,000 pound discipline program for a year of more intense mentoring. So now two clues that I get. First thing, this fellow had paid for a discipline program. Obviously that is one clue. And the second thing is that he is looking for more intense mentoring. That means he had gotten a bit of mentoring before, but he wants more intense mentoring. Okay. Journalist Catherine Nye takes us through through it step by step. First, we meet the people who are willing to go on camera to talk about their experiences. There's Jeff, who was full of ambition but lacking direction when he crossed paths during a self-improvement webinar with a man called Jay Singh, who was with Lighthouse and offered him personal mentorship. So obviously, here I see that some sort of personal mentorship had been offered to Jeff by Jay Singh. Okay. Singh told Jeff that he was very open, very teachable and great, and had a great work ethic, and under his guidance, Jeff did learn to speak and write better than before. So now again, over here, I should not be placing my sentence because this looks like a continuation to the first part. Okay, Singh told Jeff that this. It looks like it's a continuation. He's just starting off with the mentorship. Now, there's no reason for needing more intense mentoring unless we know what is the result of the previous mentoring, right? Okay, now, I could try and put this over here if it actually goes in line. So I see what's the result of the mentoring. It only seems sensible to sign up for this discipline program for more intense mentoring. So he's gotten some already. Now I want to put in more and I want to get into the more intense mentoring program, and to invest $25,000 after that to become an associate member and gain better access to the revered founder of the movement, Paul Waugh. So now over here he's saying, first I would invest this, come here, and then I would invest this much later to become a member of the movement where get better access to the founder. So 2 fits perfectly. Now let's look at 3. We meet Jeff's girlfriend Dawn. So again, this now moving away from Jeff and how much he has invested in the program. So obviously I'm not going to take 3 and 4 into the consideration. The best option will be option 2. Now let's go to the 4th question. Now this 4th question is again a para jumble type of a question. We must act now to eliminate poverty and bring about more social inclusion to enhance education and health levels, to mitigate the pace and efforts and effects of climate change and environmental as well as ecological degradation, and to prevent the loss of biodiversity. Okay, so he says that we must do this now. So this is what needs to be done. Now my question is, why should this be done? Okay. So to ensure the survival of the present and future generations, we must reduce our ecological and carbon footprint significantly. Okay. Now this is why it should be done, right? Okay. So somewhere I should come up to a realization that 2 and 1 could be together. This puts in question the sustainability of our living conditions and livelihoods under stress from climate change, water scarcity, pollution, and waste accumulation. Now my question is, what puts in question? Because so far amongst these two, okay, there's nothing that puts in question the sustainability of our living conditions and livelihoods. Yes, here he's saying that to ensure the survival of present and future generation, but that's not calling into question anything. He's just giving me the reason that we have to start doing this, correct? So all pose threats for every country and every person in developed and developing countries alike. Now this all could talk about these things, right? Because these are the ones that are posing threats to every person and every country, right? So what can I see? Maybe 2, 1 and 4, right? 2, 1 and 4 are all going together. Now my confusion is, where should I put 3? Should I put it as the starting or should I put it towards the end? Definitely this does not look like a conclusion, because when I say this puts into question the sustainability, it looks like it's going to talk about something further, correct? Which is why we're going to put 3 towards the starting, making 3, 2, 1 and 4 the perfect answer. Now let's go towards the last question of this day. This is again a para summary type of question. Now here we see welfare economists and saner voices may cavil at the undue attention a single number GDP growth rate commands among the political class and the intelligentsia alike. Now, what is cavil? Cavil is bow down to. Okay, they might just agree with, but they are the exception in its ability to capture both headlines and reactions, ranging from exuberance, which means extreme joy at one end, to despondency at the other. Despondency is being extremely low, being extremely depressed. At the other, few macroeconomic numbers come anywhere close to what social scientist Philip Lipines describes as the most powerful statistic figure in the human history. So basically, what is the idea that I'm getting from this passage? The idea that I'm getting from the passage is that GDP is one of the important, powerful statistical figure in the human history, but that's not the only one. We're giving way too much attention to GDP, right? So let's look at the options. A. GDP growth rate is the most powerful statistic figure in human history. Now, this does not tell us that we're giving too much attention to GDP. So obviously, this is not going to be my correct answer. B. Except for welfare economists and some sane people. So that's what the first part of the paragraph saying. Most of the people pay way too much attention and importance to the GDP growth rate figure. Yes, which is what is being told to me in this passage. So B could be a possible answer. C. GDP growth rate is the most attractive number as far as capturing headlines and reactions is concerned. Okay, although it's one of the ideas that we mentioned in the passage, that's not at all the main idea of this passage. So definitely not going to be my answer. D. Philip Lipines is of the view that GDP growth rate is a figure that leaves every other figure behind in the race of getting attention from politicians, economists and intelligentsia. Now see, one way to think forward about this is that yes, it gets attention from everyone, but he's not telling that we are giving too much attention to it. The attention that it's getting, it does not really deserve. That part is not coming out anywhere in option D. So D will not be my correct answer. The best possible answer for me now would be option B. Now, if you watch this video till here, please do not forget to hit that like button, share this with a friend who is preparing for CAT 2025 and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you in the next video.
Hope you enjoyed learning from today's session.
This series is designed to help you with your CAT preparation and practice daily. We are with you in this journey.
To watch the next video, click here. And to watch Gurukul's CAT 100 series, study room to boardroom, the entire playlist, click here.
If you learned from today's session, like, share, and subscribe.